Hello, everybody, friends. I started drinking a little early.
Every Freddie buddy. Hey, Freddies, how you doing out there today?
Welcome to episode 61 of the Weird Turd Pro. Oh my God, that was the roughest start we've ever had. I think.
This one goes out to Roger Maris.
Yes, I'm Mo Strummel in Nashville. I forgot who I was for a second.
Woohoo! I'm Jason Winfield in Lamont, PA. I'm Jason Freddie Winfield in Lamont, PA.
Oh my God! Yeah, I think we have to change some words in every song to get Freddie in there. I'm kidding. Let's not do that because my brain's not going to go there right now. So what's going on up there? What's it like up there?
Well, I was driving my son home from the pool this afternoon, and he asked what the weather was like in Nashville. So I actually looked it up, and we're about 5 degrees cooler than you are, and that includes in the heat index as well. So we're all living somewhere over 100 degrees, and I got to tell you, my air conditioner is having a hard time dealing with that right now.
Yeah. And it's it rained for like 5 minutes here earlier, just enough to make it humid as hell and not enough to cool anything up. You know what I mean? So that's what's happening here, and it's pretty ugly. The good news is it's supposed to cool off a little bit. I think next week, which we're looking forward to.
We can hope.
We can hope. We can hope. So, we just. So when I contacted you earlier, you said, I said, do you still want to do the TV themes? Because we skipped last week, right?
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that later. But so we decided we're going to do all originals this week.
All originals.
We're going to go back because we haven't played those in a while, right?
Nope. I play them a couple of times. I mean, I play Monday nights here, and I squeeze a couple of them in, but it's not what people want to hear on a Monday night. I got to tell you that.
Yeah. Well, that's I'm in a much better town in terms of getting away with some originals at types of bars I play at. I mean, you don't get away with originals downtown, but you can get away with originals every other place in town.
Right.
Not so much in State College. I agree. And
I mean, I can pull off a lot because the venue and there's a staff change now, so show runs Monday nights, and I get out a little bit earlier because he likes to have the last hour of Metallica. So I joke that I open for Metallica every week.
Have you learned one yet for him acoustically?
I play a little bit along those lines during sound check just to you got it all right. so I'm working on it. It's a little bit difficult for me to wrap my head around it. I mean, I tried to get it acoustically, but it's just I couldn't get it to a place where I was comfortable with and liked it. So so I know he was disappointed when I was there, but so be it. So we didn't decide who was going to go first today. I don't remember who went first last time, and and you have your guitar on.
So I guess I'm going first. And I will tell everybody to stay tuned because you have a new one this week too.
Yes,
right?
I do have a new one. I mean, it's fresh off the presses. It's stuff that it's something that I've had sitting there, and I was looking for how it was going to go together, and about 2 hours ago, it all just went whoop. So this is right off the vine. It is really. It's even newer than the Christmas song. So
okay, all right. So I'm working on like 3 different things musically right now, but I've got no lyrics for anything. So I'm I only get to do this for a little bit every day because I'm kind of busy.
I completely sympathize.
Yeah. So, but I think they'll get there. I've got one that I really like right now musically, and I just got to get there with some words. But I'm going to do a really old song first.
Awesome.
And this is one I wrote for Joan. Well, it started out as a song about Joan. So the first verse is really about us. and then the rest of it kind of goes off in a down, off on a spur, right?
Okay.
The train takes a spur, and the rest of the song really is like 100% made up. But the first verse is kind of truthful, and you can find a really bad. I play the guitar much better now than when I did this recording of this, but you can find a really bad old 4-track cassette tape recording of this online if you look really hard. But this one's called 23C. All right.
Nice.
She lived with me in 23C in a room without much of a view. We spent our days in a love-infused haze in a world with room for just two. She'd leave me notes on the living room wall about things like locking the door. I'd answer her notes with a wink and a nod. She never expected much more. She bought a guitar from the wall of a bar. They told her it never would play. She strung it up right and played it that night. I remember the song to this day. An old man who tugs at his pants as he dances, the perfect picture of pride. An unhappy ending, a love never ending, the dog up and died. I'd sit on my deck with my hands on the becks and listen to the songs that she wrote. She'd sing of flowers and heaven in the showers, and I would just lay back and gloat. I had me a winner, a part-time singer, and equal in every way. She could be Venus, Helen, or Juliet, just check the time of the day. But that damn guitar took it too far, and I knew just what that meant. So I stopped my guessing, gave her my blessing, paid up my half of the rent. Now she's down south with a traveling show, singing songs about me. Whenever I hear them a smiling, I think about the girl in 23C. She lived with me in 23C in a room without much of a view.
Awesome. I love that song.
Thanks.
You start telling the intro, I'm like, oh, wait, I know that song. And then you start singing. I'm like, oh, yeah. It's a good story.
But, the intro, well, it is a good story, isn't it? It kind of evolved, but and the shout out to Jerry Jeff Walker in the song. So that's even cooler. But yeah.
That's awesome. Good to hear it again. That's the nice part.
For those of you who don't know, Joan is sitting next to me. She's pushing all the buttons. She's our producer. And so that song. And, the Venus, Juliet, what is it? Helen, she can be Venus, Helen, or Juliet. That's about her because she can be all those things. So, yeah. She's awesome, she says. All right. Your turn, buddy.
She's over there poking the bear. Okay, so I played this song. I wrote this song, I think, right before we started doing the show. So I actually Actually, it might have been after we started doing the show. So it was one of the first songs I wrote after we started doing the show. And once again, this is about my wife, who's currently chauffeuring my kids around everywhere and probably getting ready to tie up some goalie skates here any moment. So
nice.
Used to think I knew my way around this town. I could stop at any neighborhood, dive around, trade the friend the Jew, and play some cutthroat pool for the run of the table or a brew. Now I'm asking strangers on the street for the way to places we have planned to meet. I'm so worried about what I might say. I hope I don't embarrass myself today. 'Cause you make time matter. I wish I had more with you. My life is all in tatters. So in love, I don't know what to do. Now I find myself awake at dawn every day, looking forward to what you have to say. I can't remember where I need to be. Hope my wishing you were here with me. 'Cause you make time matter. Wish I had more with you. My life is all in tatters. So in love, I don't know what to do. You make time matter. I wish I had more with you. My life is all in tatters. So in love, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, I really like that song. I liked it when you first wrote it. I still like it. When you go to record it, here's what I hear, and you can throw it out. You don't have to take.
Yeah, no.
But I hear those, and you'll do it on the keyboard, but it'll be these like, bing, 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 bing. You know what I mean? It's like that. I don't know. It's probably very 70s that I'm hearing this sound, but it's in my head when you play that. I hear these like, I don't want to say chimes. They're more like bell. Yeah. It's closer to a bell than a chime, but it's not a bell.
There's a little jingle of a guitar line that runs over it, and it's in the original recording that I sent you. This little.
I'll go back and listen. But you know what? You need to borrow Danny Collins' Rickenbacker and do it with a Rickenbacker.
Oh, that's true. Well, I can
Rickenbacker. I think you're supposed to say not Backer.
Rickenbacker.
Yeah, but you should. Yeah, I'd give him a call. Maybe just borrow Danny to play it.
Well, he does recordings at his house, which is just down the mountain. So I need
down the mountain
on the side of the mountain here. Let me grab some water.
Some water, yeah.
Some water. I'm gonna grab some water.
Well, down the mountain doesn't come from the same place as water. Down the mountain is on the other side of Altoona. That's down the mountain.
Yeah, down the mountain.
And that's my wife. That's her thing. She lived down. She lived down the mountain. Outside of Altoona.
Well, that's where I go all the time.
We're creating a whole new Saturday night sketch right now. It's awesome. It's perfect.
That's when they get writers from Pittsburgh. That'll be
they should, exactly they should be doing their own version of that. That's pretty.
As long
funny.
as they have them coming from Philly, you're gonna have
right.
Oh my God,
Wawa,
the Indian, the Native American woman who lives on the Schuylkill.
Yeah, Schuylkill. Oh my God, I can't tell you how many times I drove on that road when I was just learning how to drive, and I had to go to Philly for some reason or whatever, and we would drive on that road. I was terrified. I was absolutely terrified driving on. I was terrified riding with somebody on that road. It's terrible.
Coming around on the interstate around
yes,
along the water, right?
It is
right by the boat, right by the boathouse, by the boathouse strip or whatever it's called.
By the way, I lived outside of Philadelphia all my life, and I swear to God, until I went away to college, right. And I swear to God, for as long as I can remember, that road was under construction. It was never finished. There was never a time when you didn't ride on that road that there wasn't just construction from one end to the other. It's unbelievable. It was just, and I'm sure it's still not finished.
Oh no.
No, I'm sure.
And now it can't get any wider. They just have to keep filling the holes.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my God. So if anybody's watching from Philly, sorry, but that's the way it is. So
go Eagles.
They do. Yeah, go Eagles. All right. Enough of that. All right. I'm going to do, this is a song about growing old.
Oh.
Because I'm old. Whoops. I drive a 68 pickup truck. Suits me just fine. I still wear this old wristwatch. Hell, it keeps good time. I don't care much for zombie flicks unless they're black and white. I think Merle has Out of Sight. People say I should change my ways, try to embrace these modern days. But if I did, then I might lose the ones I care about. I'm still with the one I love. She's an old-fashioned girl. I'm a Lincoln Log guy in a Lego world. I know I should do my best to try to change my style, but every change I try to make is hard to reconcile. You can say old-fashioned, I'll just say well-aged. I think Johnny Cash is still the rage. People say I should change my ways, try to embrace these modern days. But if I did, then I might lose the ones I care about. I'm still with the one I love. She's an old-fashioned girl, and I'm a Lincoln Log guy in a Lego world. May not be a modern man, but it's who I choose to be. I've still got the ones I love surrounding me. People say I should change my ways, try to embrace these modern days. But if I did, then I might lose the ones I care about. Yeah, I'm still with the one I love. She's an old-fashioned girl, and I'm a Lincoln Log guy in a Lego world. Yeah, I'm a Lincoln Log guy in a Lego world.
That is, I think, one of my dad's favorites from all of our shows, by the way.
Really?
Yeah. Good. I think it's a perfect grandpa song because
grandpa. I'm not a grandpa yet. I feel like one sometimes.
Well, I've heard your jokes. Oh,
damn, that was hard.
Well, it's okay. I now have a 6 months from a teenager in my house, so I am like the worst of everything. Right?
Yeah, well, yeah, you are.
Just get used to that.
I am.
And here's the thing. Up until now, let me just ask you a question. Up until now, were you not the prince?
Oh no!
Like of everything? No. Oh, okay. Because
she's been rolling her eyes at me for about 3 years.
Well, but that's different. I mean, but like with my daughter, I was the prince until she was about 14 years old, and then all of a sudden, I was the devil. Yeah. And now I'm back to the prince, so it's okay. It's all good. You don't know? I think I am back to the prince. Joan's disagreeing, but okay. But yeah. So hey, before we go into your next song.
Yeah.
So last week we were supposed to be on, and we had to cancel the show. And we put up a picture that some people were actually distressed at because they thought something really serious. Well, something serious did happen, but it wasn't life-threatening. Nothing like that. But I just want to assuage everyone's fears. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what happened last week? Literally, an hour and a half before the show?
Yeah, an hour and a half before the show. Yeah, something around there. I mean, we had my son, and this is the beginning of a lot of stories now because he's now 10. So I know that the next probably 15 years are going to start. My son,
yes, they will.
We had a couple of choices on things to do with him on last Thursday. He had been away. We have a neighbor who spends a lot of time out in the country with his grandparents. So we knew he was going to be back in town. And we got a call from the mom saying, hey, he's going to be here. So they want to hang out. So I'm like, absolutely. He was excited that the neighbor was going to be back. It was like, let's go. So they headed off and they went to the pool and in the neighborhood, and he was walking across, and he has a tendency when he's like, he's got this walk that he does where he kind of lets his feet drag behind him, right? And he was barefoot at the pool. So he did that close enough to the pool, fortunately. Now, this is what doesn't sound fortunate at that point, but when you hear what actually happened, the only thing I can imagine happening is he did that a little bit, had his foot a little down too far, caught his big toe on something like maybe a seam in the concrete around the pool, and proceeded to slip and then dragged the top of his foot across the pavement as he fell into the pool. So what we got was he left and he'd ridden away on his bicycle. We got my son at the door, soaking wet, shoes in hand, with his foot half in a shoe that was just bleeding down the whole front of his foot.
Oh my God.
From about 2 inches over his ankle down to his toes.
Oh, Jesus.
And I've got him up, and I'm trying to do anything to him, trying to clean it, trying to anything. And we couldn't really tell because the way he was reacting, if anything was going on. I had,
sure.
He could wiggle his toes. I knew that much. So I knew it wasn't horrible, but to know exactly what was going on. So so it was about an hour and a half before the show when I called you and I said, we're going to the walk-in clinic to figure out what my son just did to his foot. Now, this said, we all know that my son plays hockey and he's playing on a team that starts playing a game in a week and a half. So we had to pronto feed him all the vitamins we could to get him to heal as fast as possible before getting a skate on, which fortunately I'm not there while the skate's getting tied right now. Sorry, honey.
Yeah, you are not experiencing what is probably a moment for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
I've had plenty of moments. Because he still has had to go to camp this week. They go to the pool every other day, and because it was so hot today, they added a pool day to his camp. So he's actually had it in and out of the pool. He's been running around. It's doing all right. So it's mostly now just trying to keep it moist enough at night. So when we bandage it up before we put a sock and a shoe on him. So after he's been in the pool, it gets, bathed in Neosporin and wrapped up in a non-stick bandage and stuffed in a sock in the morning and off to go in sweaty 10-year-old feet.
Nice. So that's what happened last week. And
so the train wreck was kind of what my son looked like going into the pool, I think.
Yeah. Well, when you sent the text to me and the message, I was like, well, I've been to the urgent care place and I don't think you're going to be out of there in time. So we'll cancel the show. So that's where we were last week, folks. Well, that's where Jason was. I was sitting comfortably on my couch, but it's your turn now. So hopefully you have a song that segues into that. I don't know. That's going to be tough.
I don't know. I don't think I have a song that
segues out of that, actually. Yeah.
The salty, salty air just hangs around us as the silence fills the empty in our space. The live oak by the porch is slowly melting with the gentle dripping tears of Spanish moss. I wish that I could say just what I'm feeling. The distance is not so great between us as the swaying porch swing cradles us inside. I don't know how to reach across this chasm, for the ball and chain of blame just holds me down. I hope you hear the words that I'm not saying. My pain, it seems, is never over. The heated blisters on and on and on and on. Our time, it moves each day a little slower. The pieces of a broken heart remain untouched. We started with a spark that led to fire. Now we live in smoke and never feed the flame. It burns so hot with passion and desire. Our lust-filled burning eyes, they slowly close. I fear that we will learn no other way. My pain, it seems, is never over. The heated blisters on and on and on and on. Our time, it moves each day a little slower. The pieces of a broken heart remain untouched. My pain, pain, it seems, is never over. The heat, it blisters on and on and on and on. Our time, it moves each day a little slow. The pieces of a broken heart remain untouched. The salty, salty air just hangs around us as silence fills the empty in our space. The live oak by the porch is slowly melting with the gentle dripping tears of Spanish moss. I wish that you could hear just what I'm saying.
Yeah. It's a good song, man. And I'm telling you, I still remember the first time I heard it, laying on the beach in Naples, Florida, with my eyes closed, listening to it on my headphones, because you sent it to me while I was actually sitting there. So
yeah.
I took it in. Yeah, good song.
I remember exactly what you told me a week later when I saw you.
Well, so I missed it.
Yeah, no. Having a backstory makes a big difference. But it was one of those things.
But that's this is how I always taught deconstructionism in my classes when I was teaching, was because you play a song or you listen to a song and 10 different people tell you 10 different things that the song is about. And, as a writer, for me, I'm okay with that. All right. So you got something out of it. It doesn't matter if it was what I meant. You got something out of it. That's good. I'm okay with that. Right. I mean, some writers get ticked off that you don't get what they're talking about. And my point is, that's not what matters. What matters is that people take something away, and it can be their thing they take away.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I think the key on what that was, and it's there are times it's not a fun song to play. I got to tell you that. It's not an uplifting song in what it is at all.
Right.
But it, it's real, and it can mean there's a lot of different. I mean, I like the imagery of it. How do you talk about that? I like the trees. I'm seeing the street that I was thinking about when I wrote it. So that's the fun part with me. And then if it has something that, if it evokes an emotion for me when I'm playing it, then I've done something for myself that helps me play it.
Right. And it can be whatever that works for you. And then it can work another way for everybody else. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. It's, I always, Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, right? It's like, it's really not about the drug, it's about a little drawing. So, that's the way you look at it, right? It's how you come about it. So I just want to mention, for those of you that have been watching and, whatever for a little while, we are opening a bar here in Hermitage, which is just outside of Nashville. We're working on it, working hard really every day. And that's why, that's one of the reasons I'm, I'm not writing a lot right now and doing anything, because I'm literally in there. I mean, it's kind of crazy, but there are good perks to this too. And one of them is, we're going to have 12 beers on tap. It's called 12 Keys Saloon. So we went with the 12 beers on tap. So, and that's a music reference for those of you who don't know 12 Keys Saloon. And the tagline is a beer joint with a music problem. So we're going to have a lot of live music there, a lot of singer-songwriter, a lot of duos, probably an occasional band that isn't, we're not putting big rock bands in there. It's not that big, but we'll put some good old country, real country Americana kind of stuff in there. But one of the benefits is yesterday I got to spend about an hour and a half out at Yazoo Brewery here in Nashville.
Nice.
David and Lisa. and they were fantastic. I just want to give a shout out to them. They were fantastic. And we did some beer tastings and went through, I've been familiar with Yazoo since we've been coming here for a long time, but I kind of stuck to the 2 or 3 that I knew. Well, they really opened my eyes to what they have, and they have, we tasted 8 beers while I was there, and they didn't put a bad one in front of me. They were all fantastic. So we are going to, we're going to do something with them. And, I brought a bunch home for Joan to taste. So she's working through it with me, and we're going to figure out what we're going to rotate through the taps there. Yeah, it's a tough job.
Yeah.
But she's been hired.
That's an R&D job I want.
Yeah. Well, you can be involved. We'll figure it out. So, and actually, if anybody has any suggestions for beers that they think we should carry on tap or in a bottle or a can or whatever that you really like, anybody out there that you're really interested in, go ahead and send them to me. You can go to weirdpros.com. We got a way to contact us on there, but just send them to us. We'll look at it. We'll do the taste test. We're always up for that. So anyway, I'm going to do a song that is actually related. Here's my segue. So this is a song about a bartender, but this is a song for everybody, male and female, who thinks that the bartender, because they're flirting with them, has a thing for them. And, you sit in the bar and you think, oh my God, they're being so nice to me. They're like this. Well, they work for tips. So that's the way it works. And they're going to be nice to you, and they're going to take care of you. That's the way it works. That's good. It's all good. But they're not in love with you. That's not the way it works. But this is a song for everybody out there who's ever experienced that. So this one's called If You Come Around. Who'd ever thought I find an angel in here? Smoky glass, smell of stale beer. Yet there you stand with a smile on your face. How the hell did I find this place? Things ain't always what they seem. Tonight you'll fill up all my dreams. If you come around, I'll lay you down. You said I could have anything I see. Well, I have visions, baby, you and me. I know that's not what you meant to say. Pour me another and I'll be okay. Love has a way of easing the pain. Love has a way of making us insane. And if you come around, I'll lay you down. I'll drink my troubles away, one glass at a time. I'm losing my mind. Come over here and fill my glass. It'll be my last. And if you come around,
I'll lay it down. Woohoo! Love playing.
There you
that
have
song.
it. Yeah, we used to play that, right?
Yep. I guess, speaking of interpretations of songs, I don't think I ever got that it was a bartender.
Yeah.
So no, it's good.
Well, there's one line in there that kind of gives it away, but it goes by pretty fast. So
yep. I think I was trying to catch up most times when we were playing it live, but that's just me.
Both of us, trust me. It's all those practice sessions we had that
yeah
made the difference.
And it's always it's exactly, how I did week to week was always where the song was placed. So if it came in a different order, we played it the first time later in the night, there was no way that I remembered it the following.
It's all those. It was those PBRs and sidecars that you were doing, I think.
PBRs and bullets.
PBRs and bullets. Yeah. Oh my God! Shout out to the brewery.
Yeah, shout out to the brewery. I hope Jimmy's doing okay down in the Carolinas.
Did he move?
Yeah, I think he moved. I have no idea. He was no longer at the brewery by the time I came back.
Wow.
I've been in touch a little bit with Graham. He's home taking care of the little Graham.
Little Graham.
Iggy Pep.
Lowercase Graham. Yeah.
Iggy Pep. I think it's an awesome name. But yes, so I'm kind of trying to keep this to. I'm going to play the other song that I wrote since I'm introducing a new song. I will be playing "Fabric of My Life," which was also one that kind of popped up in my lap. This one truly did pop up in my lap, but I'm going to play it at the key that was asked of by coming down from the mountain, John Rounds, because he suggested I move my capo up a little bit so we could actually understand what I was saying.
There you go.
I suggested
if anybody would know,
maybe I learned the lyrics. Maybe I learned the lyrics a little more, and that might help you understand what I'm saying too. But
no comment.
Yeah. Well, I know where you're at with that one. So this is "Fabric of My Life." I was cut from a bolt of Irish linen, stained with the dirt that my whole family tilled. Badge of red pen too, the swatch of Union blue gave us a patch of land where we could grow. The rails came through and soot covered our hands. Machines were brought to toil on our lands. When the only son broke ranks, gathered green cloth for the banks, changed the very course my family knew. Each generation brings a thread that stitched our families together when they wed. In the dark night, I cling tightly to the blanket of my family, and so together, the fabric of my life. My daddy chose a starched white doctor's coat, but he gave to me the songs blue collars wrote. Now I weave with silver strings, and I married a tapestry. Together we'll knit another rope, and each generation brings the thread that stitch families together when they wed. In the dark night, I cling tightly to the blanket of my family, and so together fabric of my life. As I look into my children's eyes, I hope it comes to them as no surprise. Their path is unknown, their path yet to be sown. Pray to God they choose a brighter light, 'cause each generation brings the thread that stitch families together when they wed. In the dark night I cling tightly to the blanket of my family, and so together the fabric of my life. In the dark night I cling tightly to the blanket of my family, and so together the fabric of my life. In the dark night I cling tightly to the blanket of my family, and so together so we can grow on forever. As I sew together the fabric of my life.
All right. So everybody who has seen the video on YouTube just heard the live version, which was a little bit different. So
yeah, it was
you're
a
like,
little bit.
you're like,
I'm trying to work it out a little bit.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I dropped my pick. I'm getting my pick. So that was excellent, man. That was good. I like it.
And it was a little, it was a little bit higher, and I think truthfully, it probably does fit my range a little bit better at that point.
Yeah, I think it does. It's definitely, I would never argue with John Rounds about anything that has to do with music anyway. No. So he is, that was dead on. Yeah, no, that was really good. He's one of my music heroes. So yeah, definitely.
Well, and he and Lee and Terry go see him a lot. They're good friends. So
get little
updates. So
he was even when I was in college, he was one of we'd go see the band, and he was just amazing. So I'm gonna get a little sad for a minute. So this is a sad
so it's my job to pick us up after that, right?
Exactly. I'm giving you the foreshadowing, the forewarning.
Crap, I better write something.
Can't love you any less. Bought themselves a classic fastback Ford. Drank like fish when they were bored. Things were going well, in and out of bed. And then one night she said, I love you more than anyone I've known, but the fabric of our love is torn, and I can't love you any less, but I won't love you anymore. Couldn't even call it a fight, but they went round and round all night. When the words finally came out, he could not believe his ears. She said it all without a tear. I love you more than anyone I've known, but the fabric of our love is torn, and I can't love you any less, but I won't love you anymore. The words were like a landslide, swept him away. And as he lay in bed that night, he could still hear her say, I love you more than anyone I know. But the fabric of our love is torn, and I can't love you any less, but I won't love you anymore. Yeah, I can't love you any less, but I won't love you anymore.
Woohoo!
Woohoo!
I'm going.
That country song.
Old sad hound dog song.
Exactly.
But it's a good song. I like that song.
Well, you know, you did a Fabric song, I did a Fabric song, so now you got to
There we go.
put me back on track again, I guess, or whatever. Oh, wait a minute. Where are we at? Oh, no, we have, yeah. You got this one, and then you got another one, right? Am I right?
Yeah, I got one more or two more. What are we doing?
You got, yeah, I think you have two, and I have one.
Yep. Yeah.
I
you
went
started
first,
off.
right? Yeah.
Yes, you did. It was midnight by a bonfire on the Carolina coast, drinking dark rum from a bottle, talking about Blackbeard's ghost, contemplating conquest on Queen Anne's revenge, and knowing that his treasure was buried somewhere in this sand. Been a good week with a few friends, trying to drink the Jolly Roger dry. Last night by the seaside, won't be back for quite a while. Somewhere after last call, we stumbled to the point over Teacher's Hole. Needed to say farewell to the man of the hour before we started our voyage home. And the water turned to white foam as it crashed into the shore. And a legend was born when the pirate died just off this beach, you know. Some say his spirit roams this stretch when the moon is right. David Jones released a ghost on an Ocracoke blue moonlight. From the darkness he appeared, walking alone along the strand. I called out, he said howdy, raised a bottle in my right hand. He said, I thank you kindly, don't mind if I oblige. You can't find a cure to what ails you on the other side. Yeah, he said his name was Eddie, he could teach us many tales. His eyes lit up when he talked about the plunders. Stayed for quite a while, drained my bottle, then he sighed. Better run off before the night starts calling. And the water turned to white foam as it crashed into the shore. And a legend was born when the pirate died just off this beach, you know. Some say his spirit roams this stretch when the moon is right. David Jones released a ghost on an Ocracoke blue night. Yeah, the water turned to white foam as it crashed into the shore. And a legend was born when the pirate died just off this beach, you know. Some say his spirit roams this stretch when the moon is right. But Davy Jones released a ghost on an Ocracoke blue night. It was midnight by a bonfire on the Carolina coast.
Ghost stories.
Ghost stories. They go with the sea, you know. Arr.
Yeah, they do. Very nice, very nice, very nice.
We already do a pirate week.
We are, yeah, we did a pirate. We did no,
Yeah, I think we did.
do a pirate week?
We did boats.
We did boats. That's right. That's right. There have been so many, I can't recall them all. But they're still all up on YouTube, and I don't know if they're all on Facebook at this point, but most of them are. So you can go back and watch anything. So we each have one more. So I'm gonna do a song that I wrote last year for Joan's birthday.
Oh, and, I love it.
It was kind of a birthday present. It was a birthday song, but it was also we were hoping that we were like maybe in the middle, but on the way out of COVID, but we weren't. We're back here a year later, almost a year later, and it's and we're basically where we were or whatever. So it's kind of nasty, but we're vaccinated. Get vaccinated. And if you're not vaccinated, okay, there'll be more beer for us. I'm just telling you.
Right.
Get vaccinated. I know that was harsh, but get vaccinated.
Yeah.
You need to get vaccinated. The key to no masks is vaccinations. So if you don't want to wear a mask, get vaccinated. If you don't want to get vaccinated, we're going to be wearing masks for a long time. I don't want to wear a mask.
Yeah.
Just like the rest of you.
Not when it's 110 degrees outside.
Right. But to be honest with you, that's where we're going to be unless you get vaccinated. There's nothing wrong with the vaccination. It's, I can't, like 2 billion people or something, have been vaccinated. It's, and there's very few bad things about it. People are worried about being tracked. Well, if you're worried about being tracked, first of all, there's nothing in the vaccine that tracks you. But if you are really worried about that, throw your cell phone away. Because I walk into Home Depot, I get a Home Depot ad. I walk into Target, I get a Target ad. Folks,
but don't tell Alexa anything.
Tracked, throw your damn phone away because that's the tracking device. So I'm just telling you, for people who are making shit up,
Alexa knows how long you were in the bathroom.
Yeah, yeah. She always reminds me when I come out. It's like, no, I'm just kidding. But
did you wash your hands?
Yes. Seriously. So I want that feature. Just get vaccinated. It'll get us all out of this. It'll make life a lot easier, and I'll be a lot happier, and I won't have to deal with all this. So this song is called. I'm not really sure yet. We haven't actually. It's been a year, and I haven't actually settled the name, but I haven't really done anything with it. I've recorded it, but it's. But I haven't sent it out. I did send it out to one person, but.
Get yourself together.
Huh?
Can you get yourself together and play a song?
I'm being chastised because I'm a little all over the place right now.
The producer's pushing us along.
The producer's putting me back in line. Yeah, I'm getting this signal. So anyway, here we go. Rivers run wild, birds fly free. Sounds a lot like you and me. Hey God, we're still standing here. Mountains grow old, people do too. I'm happy I got to grow old with you. Hey God, we're still standing here. And when it rains, don't you know, I'll find you that old rainbow. And when the sun is beating down, well, I'll bring that old rainbow around. Hey God,
we're still standing here. Ups and downs, round and round. Take a look at the love I found. Hey God, we're still standing here. Steps behind, steps ahead. It'll all work out, that's what she said. Hey God, we're still standing here. And when it rains, don't you know, I'll find you that old rainbow. When the sun is beating down, well, I'll bring that old rainbow around. Hey God, we're still standing here. Hey God, we're still standing here.
Awesome.
Thanks.
It was good. I like that song. It's so sweet.
Yeah, I like it too.
You're going to have to name it and call it yours, give it a birth certificate and send it out.
I know. It's got,
or you can
the recording actually has a nice little touch of violin in it at one point.
Ooh.
So it really, yeah, it settles in pretty nice. It's pretty cool. So
yeah, that would work.
I'll send it to you.
Yeah, please do. Please do.
Will do. Yep.
I have one more, and this one is more than that's still wet off the presses. I think if it were
world debut.
And once again, nobody in my house has heard this. That's the same thing that happened with Fabric of My Life. This one has no name. It is like I don't even know that the umbilical cord has been cut on this baby.
Either that or it's still in the nursery, right? We did it.
Yeah, somewhere in there. But
still in what natal care. It's still in natal care. Yeah.
Yeah. This is there's a lot that's happened in the last year and a half, right? In the last 61 episodes, the water under the bridge, the everything, and I think it was probably right in the beginnings of us doing this that I actually was dropping the car off for service, and rather than get in a van with somebody who'd been hopping in a van with a bunch of people to get a ride home, I just walked home. And I took an abandoned rail track, and I think that's where all this comes from. So I'm going to fight my way through this. It's not going to be the same ever again. This is how Earl knew this one is. So this is whatever it is, I guess. The abandoned sidings wander quietly in the long-forsaken factory towns. The sumac grove was a parking lot before GM shut us down. The echoes of a stickball game in the street unsupervised disappear in the fading cadence as the industry's left our lives. And there seems to be no rhyme or reason or educate the next in line. I can't climb on board the notion that we're running out of time, when our only way forward is to wait for the train to come in, as we watch prosperity leave from a station no one living here's ever seen. It's hard to know when to pass the reins, when to steam diesel, what's next in line. We all want to build a legacy, though we've actually had more time. Seems to be no rhyme or reason as we over-educate the next in line. Can't Can't climb on board this notion that we're running out of time. Well, that only way forward is to wait for the train to come in, as we watch prosperity leave from a station no one living here's ever seen. I'm gonna try this again to see if I get the rhythm right. There seems to be no rhyme or reason as we overeducate the next in line. Can't climb on board this notion that we are running out of time. That our only way forward is to wait for the train to come in, as we watch prosperity leave from a station no one living here's ever seen. The abandoned signs widen quietly in the long-forsaken factory towns. That sumac grows a parking lot before GM shut us down. The echoes of a street ball game in the street unsupervised disappears in the fading cadence as industry has left our lives. Now there seems to be no rhyme or reason as we overeducate the next in line. Can't climb on board this notion that we're running out of time. That the only way forward is to wait for the train to come in, as we watch prosperity leave from a station no one living here's ever seen. It's hard to know when to pass the reins, when to steam to diesel, what's the next in line. We all want to build a legacy, though we thought we'd have more time.
Yeah, I know you're listening to Troubadours when I hear that song, just so you know, because it's got them all. I mean, it's just got that feel about it.
Oh wow!
So
well, thank you. That's a compliment to me.
Yeah, no, I know, and I meant it that way. It's I think you're writing. I would say from the heart, but you're writing from the heartland is what you're writing from.
Oh
so
yeah. Some of that. Yeah, I don't know that we've really had a chance to talk about what went through my mind when I drove from Nashville to home, and then back through Ohio, because wow, there was a lot hitting me as I hit. I know we discussed at one point the sound of the region, and the sound of the mountain, and the sound of the plains,
right.
and kind of, it made me understand a little bit more of Bob Wills, and it made me understand a little bit more of the Ohio bluegrass people compared to the West Virginia and Virginia bluegrass sounds, the mountains and the rolling hills areas, those kind of places.
Well, the land definitely affects your sensibility about.
It's the sound.
It's things.
It's the sound and what you see, and there's a lot to drive down the road here. It takes a lot of turns.
Yeah,
and you got a lot going on. I mean, ultimately, when I got to say, as soon as I got out, once I cleared Kentucky and I went into Indiana, and the road all of a sudden became like football fields wide, because the shoulder is the same level as everything else, and it's all flat, and
right.
and it brought back a whole new thing, which I think is where the Troubadour sound for me like continues to echo across the plains. So, But anyway, thank you for that compliment. That's new.
Folks,
it will get better as we move forward.
Well, and we will hear it. Folks, thanks for tuning in. We barring any disasters, we'll be back here next week. Same weird channel, same weird time.
Same weirdos.
There you go. So remember, as Hunter S. Thompson wrote, when the going gets weird,
the weird turn pro.
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next week.